After almost a year of hype and insane expectations, Titanfall is finally here, bringing with it acrobatic first-person shooting and giant robots galore. But the bigger question has always been whether some of the people responsible for redefining multiplayer games with Call of Duty Modern Warfare can do it again with their first release as Respawn Entertainment. Will Titanfall bring a new wave of evolution to a stagnant genre? Who knows? But given how successful Respawn is at pulling in new ideas with best-in-class fundamentals, I hope so. Titanfall's premise involves a civil war in space. A revolution's worth of angry colonists has had it with their corporate-funded government. In the resulting struggle, both sides fight using Titans, industrial weaponized suits of armor. Titanfall is a multiplayer-only game, but there is a story presented through what Respawn is calling campaign multiplayer. Practically speaking, this campaign places scripted moments and additional voiceovers on top of a specific set of multiplayer maps. It's an interesting idea, and there are some cool bits of spectacle, but Titanfall's campaign never quite drives its narrative or characters home. The campaign does help to flesh out Titanfall's giant robot Hook at least, but most of your time is going to be spent in classic mode, Respawn's name for more traditional multiplayer. Titanfall's matches don't unfold like other shooters. You're dropped onto each battlefield and set off on foot to secure your objective. You start on foot, but a timer is ticking down in the lower right corner of the screen. You can reduce it by completing goals or getting kills, and once it's up, you've earned the right to call down a Titan. And this is when all hell usually breaks loose. Once one team wins, the match isn't over. Instead, the other team has a chance to extract and earn extra points for making it out alive. Some game modes act a little differently. Last Titan Standing mode gives every player a Titan to begin with, and the game is over once all Titans are destroyed. Regardless of mode, Titans are the stars of the show. They're not lumbering mechs. Instead, Titans are fast and versatile killing machines, and they don't even need you to be useful. When you exit your Titan, an AI takes over. You can set it to guard a spot, which might cover your back when you're trying to take a point, for example. Or you can have it follow you more aggressively, acting and killing on your behalf. I was surprised to find my Titan pretty useful on his own, but they're just as fun to drive. They wield massive weapons, dash, and have their own special abilities. And Titan punching a doomed opponent's robot and ripping its pilot out is awesome. Every single time. But Titans generally have short lifespans, and you're going to spend most of your time on foot as a pilot. Luckily, pilots are pretty capable. You can double jump thanks to a jetpack. You can wall run and vault over obstacles. And somehow, all this complexity is streamlined. The control scheme is intuitive, not complicated. Titanfall feels like a playground. I found lines to run, landing jumps I never thought I could make. This amplified traversal opens up maps in ways that no other shooter manages, and it radically shifts the way that Titanfall's combat unfolds relative to other shooters. I had to keep my awareness moving all around me as much as possible. Respawn has found a remarkable sense of equilibrium predicated on a constantly shifting set of strengths and weaknesses. Titans may be the intimidating heavies that visually define Titanfall, but the deadliest anti-Titan weapon is usually a naked pilot. Leaping onto the back of an enemy Titan to perform a hostile brain surgery is still a thrill after dozens of hours. This is in no small part because even on the back of a Titan, away from its reach, you're still vulnerable. Vulnerable to the Titan's pilot, who can get out and attack you on foot. Vulnerable to other Titans and pilots on the opposing team. This vulnerability defines the game. I was always in danger, but so was everyone else. Every player is swimming in a similar pool of choices. You're not just choosing what gun to hold. Every choice brings weaknesses to the table. And in knowing that I was always vulnerable, I felt like I could try crazy tactics, pushing myself harder and harder. Titanfall doesn't have as many pilot-specific weapons as Call of Duty or Battlefield, but every weapon feels distinctive and suited to a certain kind of play. Titan weaponry is even more distinctive, though I have to confess, once I found the art cannon, I never left it. Despite its hardcore shooter basis and a complex set of mechanics, Titanfall feels pretty accessible. Killing computer-controlled grunts and specters isn't a useless distraction, and you don't have to have the fastest reflexes around to have fun or even do well. This is reinforced by the challenge system and progression built into the game, and burn cards, which add a really fun bit of unpredictability for everyone in Titanfall. All of these moving pieces create a game where something is always happening. I was always completing a challenge, or calling down a Titan, or calling down a Titan on top of another Titan, or using a burn card. I never felt idle, which can actually be a double-edged sword. Games of Titanfall are intense enough that I often felt like I needed a breather after a few matches. but I always wanted to jump right back in. Titanfall is that rare combination of new ideas, accessibility, and phenomenal execution. It's too early to tell if Titanfall will lead to the same sort of sea change in multiplayer shooters that Respawn has caused before, but the pieces are all there, and I can't wait to play more.